So section 4 of 5. Another big high schooler name of note in this race is wearing hip 9. That's Chloe Heiler, racing for the Pacer Project. See her in the white singlet. They're 5 in from the wall there. The official doing everything he can to stay out of harm's way. They have used every inch of the circumference of this Dempsey indoor facility to get as much room as they can. We saw some 3Ks last night where we probably should have had guys starting outside the building. There were
they pack them in. Nobody wants to be, you don't want to be too deep in this race.
So some final introductions by Paul Merka, the PA announcer inside of the Dempsey each and every year, and we'll get set for racing here. Again, one more invite section after this, and then we'll transition to the men for their 5 sections, and then that follows with 26 additional mile races here to get us to the end of this Miles City on a Saturday. We were originally supposed to have only 12 in this race, but they now have a number of extras, including a pace setter here wearing hip number 15 that we don't have on our start list. So I'm going to take the guess here that what we've started to see in these last 2 sections, as you pointed out, Ben, we were going to have some pace setting duties here at the front of the pack. 69.4 is the fastest quarter mile split we've seen so far today as we get the racing underway here in Seattle.
And that pacer really just helps string things out, gets the athletes moving a little bit. Nobody has to question or doubt what we're doing. Just starts stringing everybody along and helping people push that pace.
I believe that's Jessica Kane who's doing the pace setting duties here, bib 59.94. So Kane stepping into that role, and as we know, Ben, that pace setter can make or break some race day strategies for a lot of these folks. So prescribed pace decided upon, well in advance of this, and that is your job and nothing more. Keep these paces honest. 71.1 on the opening quarter mile.
Just nice and smooth. I think that's the biggest thing that most athletes want. Isn't that like wild first 200 meters where you get out too quick or too slow, or you wildly adjust, what you're doing up front. It's got to be nice and smooth all the way through. I'd rather see something that's right on the cusp, right? They keep that 70 going, sets up for a 440. You have a last big 300 meters. You come home in a 3:35 or a 4:35.
Clara Dess there in second, and then moving up in the Washington singlet, that's Maggie Liebig. We've got a halfway mark here momentarily. A look at the watch by Kane. And she will step off at the halfway point. So the race now begins halfway home here in this next to last section of the invite portion of the schedule for the women. 2:22.7. So, good pace setting there. It was a slower than everybody else's invitational first 440, but actually now a faster at the half mile. So that was a smart race.
Yeah, just nice and smooth, kind of just creeping up as we get into it. Hopefully allowing these athletes to just kind of push forward. Kind of here's the hard part, get them from 3 minutes to 4 minutes, and then you can smell home, and then you can really start running fast.
So Maddie Mooney is up there as well in third position now. Been a steady factor in this race so far. Maddie Dixon is now moving up on the outside. And they're winding themselves up to get to the 3/4 mark here. Less than a lap and a half to go for this Miles City Section 4 Invitational victory. And a little bit of a stumble there by Mooney. And I don't know if she got tripped up from behind, but almost had a disastrous moment there, tripping near that rail coming off the final turn. This rail does not go all the way around the track, just on the curves, but Mooney still in that race along with Isabella Faria as they head to the backstretch for the final time.
And Maggie from Washington still mixing it up with some of these post grads.
And here is Mooney to the lead, so near disaster on the previous lap and now near perfection of race strategy on this lap, but not allowing her to get all the way away from things is Clara Des, who's going to line up for that slingshot off the final turn. Mooney on the inside, Des on the outside. Now they're stride for stride. Des now to the lead, and Clara Des will regain the lead and have the lead when it's most important to have it, which is at the finish line, and she wins here in a very respectable 4:36.62 by 10 seconds, the fastest time we've seen here in Miles City with one more invitational section to go.
Here we go. Maddie Moon is a Pacific Athletics crew that just started out of OSU. A few of them in the race here today.
Yeah, Coach Quintana was on the backstretch.